Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome in. It's Tarot Tuesday. My name is Julie. Yeah, that sums it up. The shadow. Shit, I have to tell you, I was a little feeling a little heavy before I came on just now, and that's why I went into my Kim Cran's archetype deck. Cause and I'm not look. I love you guys. I love us. I don't always feel great all the time. I don't have it all fucking figured out. I'm still a human doing this work. And so, as I develop my channel a little bit more, I really feel like I just need to be honest about what I'm feeling and what I'm sensing. And if it's not always pretty and fucking happy, then that's okay. Last thing I want to do is to bum anyone out, and I have my own personal things that I navigate. God, I'm feeling emotional. So, we have to be honest, Yeah, this cave. Sorry, give me a second. I'm not going to apologize for crying, why should we be ashamed of these things? The shadow, the cave, these are things that we were shamed. There's a lot of shame I'm feeling. Okay. And I know we're going deep, and you just bear with me. Click off if you're not into it. That's fine. But sit with me here, because what I felt this morning and the download that I got was, and of course it's throwing a little nostalgia there. It was the game of life. So any of you guys who grew up playing that game, Gen Z, all of that, it's even still around. But you know how you can make these different decisions? I loved playing that game. You can spin the wheel, you think about it, it is kind of a great metaphor. So, how in that game you can make decisions like, do you go to night school or do you get your college degree? It's so basic, night school, who goes to night school anymore? Okay, I'm already feeling better. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Game of Life, which actually reminds me of that book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. It's a short book. It was early stage. I forget the author's name, but I'm going to pick up a copy of that again. So I remember that was a significant page turner. Anyways, some of you guys, you're going along your life, little car, you got your peg, you're paying, and then all of a sudden there's a stop sign, right? You can't go any further and you have to make a decision. So what I got this morning when I woke up was at the end when you can take the safe road or the risky road, and I had this voice come in that was like, girl, you took the risky path, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely, thanks for the reminder. I took the risky route, right? So it's just reminding you of, have you taken the risky route, or did you take the safe route? And what's so beautiful about what's happening is that those paths are starting to merge again. And I know in the end of the Game of Life, they lead into the same end place. You can get a mansion or a cowboy or something like that. It's so fucking hilarious. We should do a tarot version. All my tarot folks, we should do a tarot version of the Game of Life. That would be fun. Anyways, I haven't even pulled a damn card yet because this is so significant. Those paths are merging. So if you took the safe route and you did the thing and all that, but life's been feeling a little not very enthusiastic, you're about to ramp up and you need to take a challenge. You need to take a risk. You need to shake it up a little bit. And for those of us who have been hanging out on the fucking edge of a cliff for the last however many years, just barely hanging on, myself and so many people I know, the risky route has been challenging. It's been fucking hard, and I feel like these paths are starting to converge. So for those of us who have been on the risky route, we're going to start to come down that mountain. We're going to start to slow roll into a calmer, more safe and stable future. And the people that have been kind of safe and playing it, kind of hidden, it's going to come together. And these two kind of, row paths are going to kind of merge. Okay. And that's as far as I got, and I think that's the beautiful piece, is that it is the game of life. And I think we can all choose, we can use our free will to be like, look, I've been taking on the risky route. It's been great. I had fun, but I want to come back down, I don't want to be up here with all this crazy shit, it's too draining, right? So this is when we start to embody spiritual wisdom. We start to embody all of it: intelligence, higher sources of intelligence, our intuition, our extraterrestrial friends, our galactic friends. We've been out like kind of on the leading edge of all of that for so many of us. And we just kind of want to like go home and, take a nap, lie in the hammock, hang out in the pool, like go down a river. It's time to create that world for yourself, because you've been so, programmed into this corner. It's like you've been boxed into this energetic corner, and I get it. I feel like that right now. And sometimes it's just like, you just, there's nowhere else to go almost. Your sensitivity is reached its peak. Let's just say that. Okay, your sensitivity has reached its peak, and now it's time to center and ground and smooth out some of those rough edges that leads to like a really nice, like wide pasture, open field, but it's calm, it's steady, it's not so cray-cray, Does that make sense? It makes sense for me. And so what I decided to do with that information was just to energetically move myself down the mountain, and you can do that just through visualization, through just calming practices. But it's not even like, it's not calm, like silent. There's still a rumble there, like there's still energy there. You're not just super like zenned out, I'm feeling. It's just you're grounded. You're more in your body. You're feeling your way into things. Any of you guys who are wanting to work with your hands more, wanting to create, wanting to grow, like everything is coming through that center for me, because it is connected to the heart. I'm picking that up for many of you guys. Any of you guys who like to garden or to cook or to grow things, to color, to paint, to draw, to express through the hands, massage, like all of that is really, really powerful. And I feel like many of us we're entering in it's kind of like the elder phase a little bit. And it's really like, the thing is that we were taught like the maiden mother crone, or like the elder phase is like, oh, we're getting old and crony. I'm like, I actually feel like a power flip with like the maidens, because they're all like, I don't know. I think we've got the bigger end of the stick right now. Any of you guys I'm not trying to be mean or compare, but as I embrace, my age and all of that, like I find that's been kind of a journey for me, is understanding what that means and what that feels like, and being honest about what that feels like. And I do feel a great sense of optimism for those of you who've been going through similar things in terms of just where you're at in life. You're really reflecting on the choices you've made. It's a really good time to just kind of go smooth out some loose edges there. And now we're going to let things gel. We're going to move the energies together. We're going to combine our energies. It's a really good time for people who have come from totally different experiences to meet. And I get this just in my own life. Like, there's women I know who, have a lot of money and wealth and freedom, and a lot of them are married, and they have, I'm not saying their life is perfect, but they have a much different experience, right? And I love all these women. Like, a lot of them are my clients, they're my family, they're friends. Like, I adore these people, And I have on the other side these like cliffhangers, like the ones that are just like, holy shit, I just like fucking like bucking out of this fucking bowl, and it's freaking nuts, and like I do feel like now these two parties are gonna kind of meet. So it's really good time to be open to something kind of opposite of like what you would normally be doing. Or just be open to people who are very different, have different life experience than you do, because we kind of need each other right now, right? We kind of need each other right now. And I do sense this nice balance, like a plane, has to balance, like the wind is coming, all over the place. So a lot of balancing energy would be really good for you right now, like finding your flow, just really like balance, focus on that, and yoga and just walking. That's the key, because I felt also like I woke up, I had really, really wild dreams last night, like really fucking intense shit. I'm still feeling the effects of that, so bear with me. But it was like very past life, like it was a lot, and it carried on into the morning. So we're learning how to balance, all of these things at once. And I did feel like kind of a tightrope situation, and now I'm getting like this feeling of like, hold that stick, like whatever it is that balances you out. Like that's a great visualization for any of you guys who are navigating any tricky waters, any challenging, any like, oh shit, am I going to get to the other side? Like there's a little bit of that going on, right? So where can we just find balance? And that is what's going to get you through. Okay. So don't overthink it. Yeah. Prayer is really, really good right now. Honestly, prayer is probably just staying in a prayerful, you can live prayer. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's more exciting to me. It's like, I don't want to learn how to pray. I am prayer, right? I want to feel in like a prayer state all the time, which is basically the same thing as saying you're connected to source, you're connected to divine intelligence, you're connected to love, all of these things. There's that hunter. The game's not over yet, folks. The game is not over. So you can come off the mountain and still have a good time. Okay. You can have had a very long, kind of maybe somewhat boring experience, and things can light up. Like these things are going to shift, right? There is a big energy coming through for that. So really like hang in there, and also like be strong enough to shake things up, be strong enough to shake things up, because, you can go into complacency really easily. And, I understand that just as a female, but also like, it does require some get up and go. You know what I mean? Like you can't, the people who just kind of coast a little bit are just, those people are going down, by the way. Those ones who have been like, oh yeah, I've got money. I'm just going to get a pedicure and a manicure. And like, oh my God, I don't know where to go this summer. Like all that shit, that is going bye-bye. Their shit is going to be fucking in their face. And I don't mean to get angry about this, but you see this entitlement all the time. You see it everywhere, at least I do. You can't, and you just are like, oh my God. Like, it's like this karmic retribution is what I'm hearing. Karmic retribution. So all my warriors out there, stay strong, stay fierce, stay in the flow. You know who you are, do what you do, and move on. There's no... Time is of the essence right now, I'm feeling. Time is very much of the essence, because that Kairos card just popped out. And now we have the flame. I'm so glad I used this deck. Isn't this fucking awesome? And I felt that fire this morning. I was like, someone needs to get in front of a fire pit. Just sit there and focus on, like, feel it. Like, if you could get a real fire, that would be ideal, But whatever you can get, flame. It's really the flame. And Mount Shasta, anyone going to Mount Shasta, that feels really good. That's like the whole violet flame, Saint Germain, all of this. This is deep. This is really wonderful. So a lot of you guys are just burning through. This is like that cave card, right? In the beginning, and now we have the flame. So it's the light. Yeah, here's the womb. Wow. Dang, this is a serious fucking transformation. This is a serious rebirth for any of you guys who are with me right now, who feel me right now, like major rebirth. And you don't even know how good it's going to feel to come out of that cave. You know what I'm saying? And it's just let this rebirth happen. Look at that beautiful pearl in the womb. This is a spiritual awakening, like beyond. Disclosure day, they're saying, I know, I've been avoiding talking to you guys about Disclosure Day, because I felt it should be retitled Disappointment Day, quite frankly. I thought the whole thing was really corny. I thought it really, there were moments, and there was an emotional bit, which I appreciated, but I did not, no, I'm sorry. I'm not buying what they're laying down, and I won't get into all of it. I just think it's a very, filtered version of what is actually going on. And, I'm so fascinated by all of this. Of course I'm going to go see it. I saw it on opening day. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going. I went with my son. He thought it was great, all the, whatever. But I was studying how he wrote the alien story. There were beautiful pieces, the animals I like, but Dude, at the end of the day, I'm just looking at like how much filler fucking Emily Blunt just injected into her face for all those close-ups, you know? And she's just like, you know, like I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with it. I appreciate, you know, the effort, but I just don't, I wouldn't buy it. Okay. I would not buy that. Anyways, we've got our own story to tell. And I think that's really, really exciting. Go for something. Go for something right now. For those of you who are bored, go for something. For those of you who want something, get it. The hunter hunts. We need to get that back. You know what I mean? Why else are we doing this? Like, there's got to be like something that you're out for. So I mean, you want to, I don't know if it gets the right word, but I do feel a very strong masculine energy, you know, in terms of going for it, going for the experience. Okay. That's what it is. Your soul does not want to be bored. Okay. It's like, come on, we're here. Oh, God knows how long, you know, this whole thing could blow up tomorrow. We literally have no idea. So I get that collectively everyone's kind of feels like they've been on the risky route because they kind of have, you know, you're an earthling, like just choosing that path is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So like honor the fact that you're just, you know, here having this experience, and we can allow ourselves to really get something out of it that it's like, I'm feeling like some of you guys are just like so close to having that feeling that you've been wanting to create this whole time, the thing that you've been after, the thing that you've been wanting to tap into. Okay. This is an energetic feeling, a fire, you know, passion, desire, motivation. Okay. That's what it is. All right. All of that to say motivation. What's your motivation? Not your intention, you know, not your purpose, not your desire, your motivation. What's your motivation? What's driving you? Ask yourself that right now. That's a really good question. That's going to get you out of the cave. That's going to get you, you know, through the fire, right? Motivation. Motivation is not an affirmation. It's not something you say. It's something you do. Okay. It's an action. This is an action card. And I know we're going into Cancer season, which for a fire sign like me is not the easiest placement, but we're going to figure it out. Right. So it's important to build. Okay. Like if you're like, I don't want to do it yet, I'm too scared, blah, blah, blah. Just build it. Build the vision. This is like a projector that's coming through you. And I love when spiritual teachers talk about the projector, you know, and how oh my God, Michael Murdad does such a good job of describing this feeling, but spirit comes through us like we're a projector, and the movie is our life. Like what's projected through us is then filtered out into a scene, which is your life, which is what you're looking at right now, what you're doing. Look around you. That's it. That's your projection. You projected this through you with the light, you know, light comes through, and whatever movie you put into the projector is going to play, right? So what movie are you running? Okay. And this is where we can be the director, and we can pull things, we can edit things, we can clip some shit out, we can put away the whole fucking thing, you know, and start over. Okay. You can start over any day, anytime, any moment. You can always start over. Clear the slate. Look again, feel again, project something new, okay? You always have the choice to do that. So for those of you who resonate with that message, your machine, you're kind of you're changing movies here. You know, you're like the one in the projector, the kid that's like, fuck, I gotta do this thing. And I remember once we were actually it was a date. It was a really sweet date. We went to go see The English Patient when that came out in the theater. And I loved this guy. Like he actually broke my heart because he moved to California and I wasn't ready to go yet. We went to go see this movie, and it was just like a classic like date. I think I was like 23, 24. I don't even know. Very young. And at the end of the movie, such an incredible film, right? And then the film started like halfway through, started burning. Like you could see the literal film like flame on the screen. I was like, oh my God, like the projector dude, like it burned. So then like we could watch like the end of the film, right? And I don't know why I'm sharing that story, but it feels like that. Like it's time to change the story, you know? It's time to take out the old film, replace it. Some of you guys are probably going through some kind of inner construction, but if we can look at it with that metaphor, it's a little easier. And like being a 90s, kind of 80s, 90s kid too, like the other version is like like a videotape. It's like you put the videotape in the VCR and that creates a film. So you can look at it also like taking a videotape out of a old VHS player, and that feels kind of good too. So this is something you can do every day. It's kind of like, when they make films, they have the dailies, right? Like, what did we shoot today? Let's look at it. So enjoy that metaphor because it's really smart. And remember, the light is what comes through you. So we want to let go of anything that's in the way of the purity of that light to come through you as you. And then you move, and then you run, and then you do it. But get that light going first, get that light behind you. You're going to fucking need it, I'm hearing. You're going to need the light. So, get used to learning how to work with it, how to own it, how to create it, right? You don't actually create it. You manifest through that energy force, not your mind or your brain or even your heart. It's the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's your soul is probably the closest thing I can describe that, makes sense for what I'm sharing. But that's opening up. So make it epic, man. Make it big. It's your movie. Like, what are you into? What do you want to do? Like, you can decide that for yourself, just by, how do we do that? Like, well, I think the first step is really just acknowledging that you create the film. Like, this is where we take full accountability for our life. And this is when we stop blaming or being unhappy with like everything around us. It's not good enough. And that's the movie. Okay. That's how you know. I don't like this. I don't like that. Okay. Well, that's a movie. Like, do you want to keep playing that game of dissatisfied and annoyed and frustrated and tired and blah, 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 right? You want to keep playing that? Or do you want to play something, a little bit more fun, like what are great, like Western movies, cowboy movies, like things that are exciting, like film, like maybe just create some films for yourself right now or watch some films that are going to help you with that, right? It's really great. The Village, some of you guys are ready. Yeah, you're ready to like get in there, and create something really special. Some of you guys, your mission and your focus is to create community, to create, just connection for people. Any of you guys who are building places where people want to like participate in, feels really nice, especially if you're growing things. If there's some kind of an agricultural component to it, it's really beautiful. Whoever's doing this, I know one of you guys is up to something really cool. I'm super curious what that is. It feels really nice. I think it's like build it and they will come, right? Build it and they will come. Wow. Okay. I'm going to move off of that deck because I just felt that energy of like, okay, some shit's coming up, like what's going on here, folks, right? And like, let it come up. Right? If there's fire, let it breathe, it needs to express itself. It's a really good time for you guys just to go a little crazy. You know what I mean? Go howl at the moon, go like, spray paint some shit. I remember we used to go like spray paint the side of a bridge. We were like such bad teenagers, we'd sneak up on the bridge and we'd like get our spray paint and like fuck the cops and like, just like such stupid shit. We'd break into places, like a little bit of a shenanigans going on. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's a little bit of that, your inner teenager, your inner rebel, I feel like needs to kind of come out. I'm not saying go do something dangerous. Please do not take that as like, go run into the middle of the street and, well, Julie told me, go be adventurous, do it with reasonable, like reasonability. Like you don't have to act out anymore. They're saying you have to act through. You don't act out, that's the story. That's the old movie. We act through it. We work through these things now. We're not as impulsive as we used to be, right? We can attune to an energy that feels a little bit more natural, and I don't know, it just feels really good. Any of you guys who are getting into shamanism or any kind of Native American cultures or traditions, studying that, learning about that, like shamanism feels really ripe for some of you guys right now. You might want to look into all of that. That feels really, really, really beautiful. I'm also feeling a lot of like South America, like Peru, Machu Picchu, places like that, Costa Rica, like things in that region. Feeling very spiritual, very like you might be drawn to places like that right now. You might want to create a village there. Any of you guys who are considering who might travel, to different places like that, you really feel like, wow, I want to make this home on some level. I actually feel very touched by that feeling. That feels really beautiful. Maybe that's the risk you need to take, if you guys have been playing it safe. Like, I would do that, if it feels good to you and you just feel like you wake up there, you go to sleep there, and you don't want to leave the land. That, I just got a big chills there. Like, you don't want to leave the land. It's about the land, okay? That feels really good for some of you guys right now. Feel into the land, and like, I get that. Like, you want to feel like you want to be close to it. I remember when I first moved to Malibu from New York, and I got this little beach house. It was fucking bomb. Like, this was just like, it's burned down now, unfortunately. It was right on PCH, and it was this little blue beach house, and it was like set back a little bit. So we had like a real beach, and then we had all these vintage surfboards, and there was like a cabana, and like I lived upstairs, and this super hot guy lived downstairs, and it was pretty awesome. But there was a cabana, and then there was like this kind of bench swing thing that was right by the water, and I would literally just like sleep out there because I would just go out, and I just wanted to be so close to the ocean and so, like right on the edge of it like that. And so I would fall asleep out there like kind of frequently because it was so healing for me, right? So any of you guys who are feeling that way about certain places or certain elements, I really encourage you guys to invest in that. Really do that. Really, really do that, because it's time, they're saying, and I understand these are big decisions, but yeah, you want to go where you can just kind of let go and free yourself and just kind of be your own unique individual. Like, peacocks roam, they like a lot of space, and like, yeah, you don't want to fuck with the peacock, right? Like, they just kind of have their own their own energy to them. So it's a really good time for you guys you might just be naturally kind of getting a little bit more aware of your superpowers, aware of your uniqueness. I talk about this a lot. Your uniqueness, the peacock does not try to be a dolphin. The peacock does not try to be, a raccoon. The peacock is like a fucking peacock. It's undeniable. Like, there is that element. And I do pick up the Nine of Pentacles with that energy, for those of you who are familiar with tarot. So it's really good time for you guys to enter into like Empress territory. This is Empress, pre-Empress territory. So whatever you're up to, you're really there, and you just need a little bit more space to expand. I feel like some of you guys, you don't want to be cooped up. Like, a peacock needs to be out roaming the land. So you want to create like an energetic container for yourself to expand. So I highly recommend that you move about the cabin, you know what I'm saying? But this is honestly one of my favorite energies in this deck, because it's just so unique and beautiful and fucking magnificent. When you see a peacock, it is special. So you guys are you're very special. I'm talking to you. You are special, okay? And it doesn't mean you're better or worse you're just different. You're not a raccoon, like, there's nothing wrong with raccoons, but would you rather be a raccoon or a peacock? Pick your, you can embody all of these energies whenever you want. And the peacock understands that, you know what I'm saying? Like, a bit of a shapeshifter too. So allow yourself to expand, to tap into all your senses beyond just the 5. Be unique, be expressive in your uniqueness. That's the thing. Now you got to put it out there. Maybe you've been kind of cultivating all this, being all alone in your room, like, oh, I'm so weird, and like, ooh, right? And now you're like, okay, you're fully released. Like, you're fully like, I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not going to, operate like in the night and go get, scraps of things. No, I'm fully embodying and appreciating my life and my purpose and my beauty and my joy, my magnificence. This is you. Say that to yourself. Like, you're just enjoying it now. And people should be in awe of you. People should be like, holy shit, you're fucking amazing, right? Like, Peacock's like, thanks. Like, it doesn't need that validation because it just is what it is and it knows what it is. So you're not looking for, oh, tell me I'm amazing. Oh, I know I'm so amazing, aren't I? Oh my God, I know. Oh my God, right? It's not that. The Peacock is just like, bitch, I just woke up. I'm going to take a stroll. I'm just going to, do whatever, a little mating dance and like hang out and enjoy the scene. And that's it. Like that's all the Peacock has to do is just, there is a little bit of an entertainer vibe. I will say that. So some of you guys might really kind of find yourself being more animated or more expressive or finding new outlets for your creativity or communicating and talking and being okay with getting that attention for being you. This is a big deal. This is coming out of the cave. This is what I call coming out of the second closet. So if you guys are talking to angels and you're having past life experiences and, your intuition's on fire, like, don't deny yourself the ability to express those things. And if people don't like it, I don't even know. They will. I'm not worried about that for you if people don't like it. I think sometimes we just get afraid of people's criticism and judgment. But the Peacock understands that, like, well, at least I'm not a duck, you know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't you rather have a little bit of something going on for yourself than just... So be proud, they're saying. Be proud of your uniqueness and like, it's all like kind of a miracle that you're here. So enjoy the miracle, they're saying, right? Beautiful message. I do feel like some of you guys, your antenna is like very finely tuned right now, though. You're like, like you're picking up on all kinds of stuff. So stay in your own energy. Pay attention to what you're receiving. If things feel off, they're off. If things feel right, they're right. And just do your best to stay grounded, because when you're plugged into that, like, you are picking up on signals, you're picking up on all kinds of stuff. So you got to be really embodied and appreciate the body that you're in, this vehicle that you're in right now, okay? And a lot of telepathic communication going on for sure right now. Like this one, oh my God, for those of you guys who know this person is, you'll laugh, but like the person that I think I have telepathic communication with, like, it's been a while, and so I've been wanting to like hear from him or like just touch in with him, and I was almost reached out with just the word yes. I was like, maybe I'll just say yes. Like, as if I've been, all the things you've been asking me and thinking about in my telepathic communication, experience, like, yes, and then I was like, oh shit, I didn't send it. Maybe he would think it was funny. Maybe he would get it. I have no idea. But for whatever reason, I didn't send it. And I'm kind of glad I didn't. But at the same time, it's kind of funny, right? Because you're like, oh my God, like, yeah, you just, how weird can you be, right? And I say that word weird. I know it's a weird word, but where I come from and like how I was programmed, like, that's weird, right? So I use it kind of in a kind of joking, weird way. It just fits. I don't know. It's a good word. Sorry. So good point. Okay, because you're so attuned to all these things, we don't want to be too wrapped up emotionally with other people's stuff right now, okay? The octopus is just like, what's going on with this person? What's going on with that person? I want to be involved in that. Oh, this person is doing this, and oh my God, all this drama around me, this person, that. I ain't gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. The hawk is like, get out over any kind of emotional entanglements that are like sucking you dry. Okay, this is critical. Critical. So any of you guys, you'll feel it, you'll know it. People are getting in there and trying to, like, this is energetically, this is in reality, this is all kinds of things, right? So we have to understand that the octopus is probably part of the old movie, where I get that. I mean, we're kind of all healing from this, because we had to have our feelers out all the time. If you grew up in an environment that was energetically unsafe, you were constantly on high alert. That's what like hypervigilance is about. That's where anxiety comes from. You had to operate like that. And maybe it's time to like stop being the octopus, like take that off of you, shift into something else. right? And I always feel like in order to heal from this, because this is really, it's none of it was your fault, by the way, like you were just so sensitive and you knew and you understood things and your little brain was all lit up. You're really intelligent, but you had to kind of, for survival, energetic survival, at least you were really attuned to the things in the environment around you and the people around you. So you learned how to stay in that octopus energy where you're constantly assessing, what's going on. And it's this person, you're feeling everything and you're, it's a little much. Like you can not do that anymore, right? Like octopus is great, but maybe you don't want to be an octopus anymore, and maybe a beautiful way to look at that is to take all those tentacles, imagining them being wrapping them around yourself. Like it feels really good. So this is when you kind of do like a self hug. I started doing this after my workout and it feels really nice. And so you can almost imagine like all these 8 pentacles, like wrapping around like almost like your chakra system or just your physical body, and just really like bringing all of that back. It's a good time to do like soul retrieval work. It's a good time to just pull in those energies that are no longer needing to plug in. It's like you're like a switchboard operator having to plug into all this stuff. And man, there's a time and place for those things. Sometimes if you're raising kids and you're running companies and you're running around, you're just being a switchboard operator. There's no judgment around there. Okay. Like we've all had to do that. Like, so just at some point, like you're gonna pull out some of those, some of those connections. It's really good. We can all do that a little bit, and don't let guilt or don't let things, old patterns, old, stories trip you up around here. Okay. It's better to bring it home into yourself and to bring all of that love and acceptance and generosity and understanding to your own healing, heal thyself, right? Like that's what matters most. So really give yourself all that. Any of you guys who are like, but I don't want to spend money, go luxuriate, do whatever it takes. Buy yourself a beautiful crystal necklace. Like go get the massage, go get whatever works for you. That's so good for you. And you'll feel so much better. Yeah, look at that sea serpent. This is healing. Good time for you guys to get into water, hot tubs, mineral springs, like water everywhere, just be water, right? Very Bruce Lee, be water. Enjoy that. Let that soothe you. Let that calm you. Sit with all of that, especially if it's more on a cooler side, like a pool, be really nice. Especially if it's salt water or like some kind of really good natural pool that's like on the cooler side. Feels very, very calming, and it will actually help you with your intuition. The crow, you're going through a massive spiritual awakening, by the way. Just in case you were wondering, you are. Like, this is what an awakening feels like, okay? It's big, it's powerful. Some days it's awesome, some days it sucks. It's just how it goes. And I've done this like so many times now, like I can't even tell you. I feel like I'm like, this is what we do. We just keep awakening. It doesn't end, we just keep awakening and we go into higher and higher levels of intelligence, dimensionality, and I love that the whale showed up because it is both, like the crow and the whale. Again, very different energies, but very similar. Their depth, look at how like the color, like these are 2 cool characters coming together. If any of you guys are feeling more whale and someone is feeling more crow, this is what I mean. These very different people coming together. It's a great time to really, they're saying, have a pen pal. Or meet someone from like far, far away, like someone who's very different, like culturally, all of it, like just very, very interesting time for very unique people to come together. Okay. Very powerful people. The crow, he does not mess around, right? This is someone who's extremely wise. Crows are messengers. So they're a communicator. They talk openly about intuition. They share information, between worlds. Like they're kind of like, I kind of feel like that. I feel like I'm like a spiritual news reporter, I'm kind of always like, like signaling back and like bringing you guys stuff. And I feel like a little bit of that, like I want to do the spiritual news, what I'm saying? Like sharing like updates on things. And I might do a show on that. I'm like really invested now and like really developing this. This is all I want to do is I just want to sit here and talk to you guys. I really do. Like I want to make that happen because this is so, I just love connecting with you. So thank you for giving me the chance to do this. Whoever is watching me out there, is anyone out there? Like, I love this. I do love this. And then you've got the whale, which is fucking cool and deep, you know? Someone who's just really, really deep is so good. Like, their wisdom comes from this really deep place, you know? And the crow kind of gets it from, like, you know, like higher sources of intelligence. And the whale draws it up from the planet and the earth. The very, very, very non-human intelligence going on here, okay? There's so much going on that we're able to receive, you know, and I just really encourage you guys that it could be through animal energy that you understand things about our universe, you understand things about our place in the world, you know, you're really entering into a big time of understanding what it's all about. And that's what it's all about. You do the hokey pokey. I'm being weird. Let's be weird. There's this workout I do that I love. And she's like, I'm obsessed with this work. I literally do it every day. It's so much fun. And at one point she's just like, let's get weird, you know, like just move your body. Like all of this movement is so good for you guys. So good. Yeah, you're going to fucking fly, you know. There's this hot card. There's someone knocking on my door. That just feels really, really exciting, you know? Like there's liftoff. Hold on one second. Let me just see. Hi. I'm Chris from Water Sewer. Yeah. I'm doing some work downstairs. Okay. You mind not running the sinks for a little while? Sure. I'll come back and give you a knock and let you know. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Okay, thank you. Uh-huh. Oh my God, I'm back. Oh my God, that was actually really crazy. There was someone knocking on my door. And he's just really tall. He's like the sewer guy, you know. It's like, hi, ma'am, I'm fixing the sewers. I just want to let you know, like, try not to run your sink, you know. And I'm like looking at him. And he's like young and hot. He's got a beard. He's like tall. And I'm like, uh-huh. Like literally. Sorry. I just felt the need, like, I had to get that. I'm glad I did, too. So now I'm aware. But I digress. I apologize for the interruption, but literally a hot guy just knocked on my door. I hope he didn't hear me say that. Anyways, doesn't matter. We're healing. We're back to healing. Healing. You know, snake energy is really good for you right now. Serpent energy is really good for you right now. Feel into that. Oh, it's so good when you find... I'm also feeling Chinese herbs right now for some of you guys, or you're really getting into herbology or herbalist kind of work. Magic, you know, they're saying it's magic in a bottle. Also, there's something that could be shake. If you could shake something, that feels really good, like stirring up energy in that regard. Wow. Yeah, and then there's our friend Ganesh, right? He came through earlier this week on my card, my daily card pulls. For those of you guys who follow me on Instagram, I try to post every day a message. And he came through earlier, which is about breaking through obstacles, right? This is just like the path being cleared ahead, right? This is really good energy. I love you know, when Ganesh shows up or the elephant energy shows up, like, I feel like big things are afoot. You know what I'm saying? Like big changes are being made. So it might feel a little uncomfortable, might not feel like you're all settled or you know exactly you're on the path, you know, because it's being cleared. So you're on some kind of energetic move, right? Whether you're physically moving or not, you're feeling like a bigger experience is coming, you know? And so you want to clear the path for that bigger experience to be with you, you know, in a way. Wow. Really interesting. Powerful stuff today. I just want to share that. I mean, we have 44 on the clock. So stability, right? Power and stability, you know, it's definitely a powerful time, y'all. So focus on being grounded, you know, focus on really, you know, like grounding and building feels really nice. Like you'll get there, I'm hearing. So any of you guys who have been feeling a little bit like, how much further, you know, that, you know, like you're cutting through all the brambles and like the big elephants in front, you know, it's been a long journey. So they're just saying to keep going. I get that every week for you guys. Keep going, keep growing. Seems like maybe a little bit of a mantra for some of you guys. I hope you're doing good. Wow, I can't believe our time is almost up. I love this Gazelle. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. So it is time to like kind of take a leap, go for it, move into something new, right? Like the Gazelle can go really fast and really far, but then like, look, I love how it's being depicted as just like, what? Like the Gazelle's not going to move until the Gazelle is going to move, because when she moves, she goes fast and she goes far. So it's good time for you guys just to assess what you want to make that leap for. You know, what do you want to run towards? What are you willing to chase down? You know, what are you willing to, like, how much road are you willing to travel? Okay. Like, look at that. Like, think about that right now. Right. I love the big sun behind her head. Like, really open up your vision, make that movie big, make it epic, you know? And it helps to even watch movies like that. Like, watch like Troy and like, you know, big epic movies. I know the Odyssey is coming out. I don't know. I'm not really feeling that one either, but we'll see, you know? Open up wide. Feels really good. And when you're ready, you're going to get up and go, right? So this is not like a rush thing. You don't need to rush any of this right now. You just need to project that which you're willing to get up and run for. Because the Gazelle's like, I could just sit here forever. You know, the Gazelle's just kind of like, you know, at this point, like, she needs something to entice her, okay? She needs something to entice her. You need something to, like, back to the motivation piece. You need something that is going to land for you that you want, like that desire. Create that desire, they're saying. Find that thing, right? Be the hunter. Go after something. Feel it, right? That feels really, really good. Wow. Ooh, I'm going to pull, sorry, I've been all over the place today. Bear with me, but I see a deck that I want. Oh, there it is. And it was just a little out of reach. So, wow. What a big reading today, huh? Gosh, I hope that made sense for you guys. I know, again, it was kind of an intense one, but I do feel like, I don't know, it does feel really good. Trust that this is a healing experience for you. Any of you guys who are feeling that, like, let yourself heal, like, feel to heal, they're saying. So any kind of feeling based work you're doing, journaling, writing, accepting, I'm hearing, sometimes it's just about acceptance. It actually is always about acceptance, I feel like, because acceptance is just accepting the movie that you're projecting and that you have the choice to make a new film, you know, if you want to. You know, or maybe you're like, I like this. I'm good. You know, I just want to update it a little bit. Maybe you need a sequel, right? You need to make the next one. Like that is just that, but like carried on. Like maybe that movie's just played out. You know, I feel like for some of you guys, you're like, I'm not upset about the movie. It's just kind of like, it just feels a little played out. So now you might want to go back and re-edit things or just, you know, shift gears a little bit. It doesn't have to be this big dramatic thing at all. Quite the opposite for some of you guys. It's more about a slow unfolding. You know, you want to take your time. It's a craft. You don't necessarily want to rip out this thing and rip out that thing. Like you're just like, I just want to update things a little bit. I just want to smooth things out a little bit. That feels really good. You want to work with the color. You want to work with the balance of your movie. You want to feel into it a little bit more. Let it change. Let it shift. Okay. Like you don't have to take, like they're saying, full responsibility in a way, because you're just projecting, right? And you project the light. So let the light do what it does, which is come through you, right? So it's really better to just purify and get your energy system such that you can project the best film possible. That feels good. Maybe you just need to upgrade some of the machinery right now. You know, you need to get your body, your vehicle feeling a little bit more, in good working order, they're saying, okay? I'm going to pull one more card for you guys before I let you go. And yeah, again, I know it's been kind of an intense week. It kind of has been for me too. So just let it ride, they're saying. Like, it's all good. Like everything's going to start to merge. Everything's going to make sense. You know, like I'm not worried about anything right now for you at all. I actually feel like things are going to smooth out in a really beautiful way. Just stay calm, stay grounded, stay true to yourself, they're saying. Stay true to your purpose. Let things unfold let it open up, let the film, let the light come through you, project the most beautiful experience that you can, go for something, make it real, make it strong, make it powerful. There's that beautiful abundance card that wants to come through. So a lot of liftoff, a lot of light, a lot of just new fresh air to breathe, you guys. This is actually such a beautiful card. So trust that what's coming through is that you just get more light, So if things are feeling rough, just ask for more light. Just create the opportunity for more light to come through you. And that will project into a much better experience. And then it's not really about your job or the money or your boyfriend or your husband. It's not about that, that that's all just your projection, really. So, and if that's confusing and if you don't know how to manage that, just open up to more light. Let that lift off come through you. Allow yourself to lift up out of feeling stuck into things that you don't need anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? We have to be willing to let go. That's what we have to do, okay? So on that note, y'all, I'm going to let you go. Purification, just keep going. Purify, release, allow, cleanse. Great day to, I think the card I pulled this morning was a sweat lodge. So if any of you guys are like, I'm going to be a shaman, go do a sweat lodge, get into it, go take a sauna, go sweat it out. That's really good. That feels really nice. And then that cool pool feels really good for you as well. And just, keep being your crazy peacock self. And, I love it. I love what's available for you guys right now. So, let me know if there's anything you need. I'm here for you. I will see you again next week. And until then, enjoy. Ciao.